Take some deep breaths.
Loss of physical control. Ugly cries.
Thought that this was gonna be funny though. We were gonna enjoy it. We were gonna be at this moment happily eating our food.
And adult temper tantrums. What would 90 Day be without its meltdowns and explosive fights?
Wholesome.
True.
Away! Stop! Get away! Stop! Share some crazy. Do you look?
We're gonna take a look back at some of the biggest fights and meltdowns that went down in 2023. Get into what you had to say about them and what they taught us. This is 90 Day Replay, Superlatives Edition. Hey 90 Day Fans fam, it's Melicia. Happy holidays. Since we are doing superlatives, I figured we stick with the theme of school. That being said, what is something you learned from watching 90 Day this year? I can hear some of you now. What do these people have to teach me? Put your ego aside and really ask yourself. Personally, I was reminded of the importance of having a support system that's going to tell you the truth. Speaking of that, let's get into our first superlative. 90 Day Fiancé's most creative storyteller.
I still have that hope in my heart, but I was also maybe thinking like, what if like Carmela was like in prison or something?
Yep, Tyree's imagination showed off this year.
Like,
Sorry, I don't want to laugh, but seriously, I really want to shake you just to knock some sense into your head.
but
She's not in prison.
Tyree, who shared that he's a 33-year-old virgin, constantly tried to convince himself that he's been dating the real Carmela. Even after producers told him that someone allegedly named Christian admitted to catfishing him with Carmela's pictures.
The person you've been messaging with is a man.
wow.
Luckily, he had his sister LaShanti there to try to talk some sense into him. Did it work? No. But she was still there for him, even though he wasn't getting it.
It's like, you know how when people are in prison and they need somebody to like talk to because they're like locked up
Like a pen pal?
or something?
I'm sorry. But yeah, that is not logical
That's still like a possibility though. Like,
at all. Yeah, you're delusional. I'm sorry.
Lana says, for Tyree's denial, he's invested 5 years into this relationship. That is why it's so hard for him to let go. Imagine pouring your heart into a project and someone says, we're pulling the plug. How would you feel? Of course, heartbroken, angry. That's why he's holding on to hope. I love how empathetic you are, Lana. And I get it, that maybe it would be easier for us to understand if we found ourselves in a similar situation. But I just didn't expect for him to hold on to hope for this long, especially after producers played the conversation they had with the catfish for him to hear.
Are you welcome?
Sorry, it's okay.
I'm Christian.
Fast forward, Tyree's meltdown comes after his sister showed him pictures of Carmela on an escort website, with hopes of waking him up to the fact that he is indeed being catfished. But instead, he loses it, thinking his girlfriend is doing escort work behind his back.
Yeah, I was just doing my own research of the pictures that you sent me, and I finally found something.
what'd you find?
I could pull it up.
Like,
This is an escort page.
Oh, it was a gasp for me.
Are you okay?
you're welcome. The worst part is like, this phone, man. This phone got me in all this.
Oh yeah, then he wanted to blame it on the phone.
I'm pissed because like my girlfriend's on an escort website. Like that's up. Like I don't want to judge anybody, but at the same time, it's like that's something you kind of want to tell your partner that you're escort or whatever.
Tyree is so sweet. After he thought he found out his girlfriend was doing escort work behind his back, he's talking about he doesn't want to judge her.
Like I don't want to judge anybody, but at the same time, it's like that's something you kind of want to tell your partner that you're escort or whatever.
Are you okay?
Tyree finally took a seat and calmed down, but then he got even more creative with the story.
But what about Christian, though?
He pretended to be her.
He could be your pimp.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Donna says, Tyree's issue is not about Carmela. It's not about being catfished. It's about Tyree's inability to let go of something he desperately wants to be real and is not. Tyree needs professional help, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I hope he opens himself up to a good therapist. Yeah, therapy is something he told me he's definitely interested in.
I think that's like the next step, honestly.
He also revealed to me the biggest lesson he's learned from the show this year. What has been the biggest lesson you've learned from this 90-day experience so far?
Definitely is to like not hold your tongue. And then also, if you have a problem with something, speak out about it. And also, like, sometimes you overlook the people around you, you know? So I learned to not do that, like to realize that like I'm surrounded by a lot of like beautiful people who support me, you know, have good hearts, and that, you know, the world is actually not that bad. A lot of people are better. There's more good people than bad, I'll say that.
Oh, if that's not a teddy bear, I don't know what is. It's definitely an important lesson, and clearly a hard one too. Also, hopefully at some point, he'll put those storytelling skills to good use.
He could be your pimp.
All right, next up, 90 Days Strongest Vocal Cords.
Huh?
I know. But I was impressed by what I heard this year. It was a close race between Jasmine
Want you to die.
and Kimberly. Yeah. I think Kimberly takes the crown. In this moment, she was trying to communicate her emotional needs to her husband, TJ. She literally said she was depressed and he was being dismissive. And due to frustration, she exploded. Shut up! I was surprised to see a lot of you on Kimberly's side after that, because let's be real, some might think that reaction was a bit... Isabella says, I'm 100% on Kim's side on this one. Homegirl is trying to communicate with her husband, and he's telling her to separate. After all she's been through, I'd go nuts too. And Lily says in part, I felt her scream on a deep level. It even felt good for me, and I myself have been there. Yeah, in all honesty, I have too. I think it's better to release that frustrated energy than to hold it in. For one, that builds resentment, which they say is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. And two, there's research that proves holding in negative emotions not only affects your mental health, but it affects your physical health too. Now, the key is learning how to manage your emotions well enough so you're not screaming like this in front of your partner. Shut up! Rather in a pillow or in a car by yourself. But hey, we're human. We're not always gonna get it right. Next up, we have the Best Actress superlative. Can you guess who it goes to? Miss Jasmine Pineda, honey.
I made it to America, bitches.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Now, while Jasmine is the Best Actress overall, she specifically gets the crown for this moment during her fight with Gino that was sparked when Gino told her she's not more important than his family.
Idiot, how you gonna compare me to your family? What the heck
You don't
is
think
wrong?
my family's important? You got any
I'm not
brains in your head?
I'm not feminine.
Jasmine retaliated against Gino by telling him she slept with her ex Dane and made a sex tape.
You wanna see a video of me with Dan?
She was so committed to her performance until eventually she calmed down and said it was a lie. It felt like they were in improv class, and the teacher said, go, be as nasty as you can be to each other.
You wanna see a video of me with Dan?
Yeah.
Or you wanna see that?
Go ahead.
That is pretty
Go ahead, I'll show you
from
some.
1 month
I'll show
ago.
you some. Yeah. Good. Good.
I
That's
was
re. Oh, is that true? Then go
I
yourself.
swear to God that it is
Good.
true.
Good. Or
Anybody who swears to God about something and then turns around and say they lied, it would be hard for me to trust them.
I don't think you should be yelling like you were about cheating on me. That is a big deal. Is that true?
No, I told you that because I'm very hurt.
Jocelyn says this lady can act. She brings out the tears as a ruse to get what she wants. She is abusive and is just using him, and he cannot see it. Awesome AF says, I need to see Jasmine versus Angela arguing just one time. Oh.
You're not me, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! Shit! Where the mother want you to die?
It's more than
I want you here!
That would be dangerous. I have a feeling they would either really like each other, or hate each other. When it comes to her performance skills, earlier this year I asked Jasmine how she feels about people saying she should be an actress. And the suggestion is not something she necessarily takes as a compliment. Have you ever thought about acting? People will think you should be on somebody's stage, girl, your personality.
Yeah, and that is something that I was always criticized about. It was like, you know, growing up as a girl, because I come from a very conservative, kind of old-fashioned family, very traditional. And I was always like, you know, the extrovert and so loud. And I was always so like, oh, you have to calm down. And I was like, well, I like being myself.
All right, moving on to the most shocking fight.
Like, I just want you to leave me alone.
Okay, go alone.
I will.
Okay, go.
Mahmoud and Nicole. Now, these two would argue all the time about their cultural and religious differences. But it was the moment they decided to get into a physical altercation on the conservative streets of Egypt that made it jaw-dropping. Nicole said, I am not putting on for these folks. Meanwhile, Mahmoud was embarrassed.
Every single second, like of every day that I've been here so far, it's just you picking at me. Like pick.
Wait, because the bikini saying
yes, constantly. Nothing's not good enough for you ever. Go find some other.
Don't do that to me, okay?
Let me go.
Okay, I want to let you go. Let's go home.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, I just want you to leave me alone.
Okay, go alone.
I will.
Okay, go.
Glad339 says, Mahmoud is sassy.
Okay, go alone.
I will.
Okay, go.
AdV29J24 says, I hate when toxic behavior gets passed as cultural differences. I agree. I don't believe cultural differences are to blame here. It's how the two individuals are handling their cultural differences that's making it toxic.
Okay, go. I'm done. I don't understand, like, what happened if I have a different wife, if she does that to me. No way she's yelling at me, or wrong people, this never can be.
Well, some type of way, it looks like these two have managed to stay together. And there are reports that Mahmoud is now here in America. He posted this video riding a four-wheeler with Nicole in July. And based off the video, it's looking like those reports are true. So who knows, maybe we'll see those two on our screens again sometime soon. All right, moving on to the most questionable meltdown this year. Mary's panic attack. I hate to say it, but a lot of us didn't know whether to truly believe she was having a panic attack or if she was trying to avoid being held accountable for her jealous behavior.
Don't look at girls, okay? Like I told you.
She spent their whole time in church earlier that day telling Brandon he can't look at girls. She was more concerned about the women than he was.
Just look at me when you're not looking at the face.
It got so bad that there was a point where Brandon started looking at the ceiling.
To be physically controlled, like where I can look, who I can speak to, I don't think anyone should have to live like that.
Whimsical Titan says she's afraid to be left behind, referring to her abandonment fears, but acts like everybody he looks at will magically want to steal him from her. She's exhausting. That's real. She's also not considering the fact that who's to say those women want him? I would be curious to know if Mary has ever found herself in a situation where she's been interested in someone else's man. Hey, sometimes we fear betrayal not only because we've been hurt before, but because we know that we might not have always respected relationship boundaries. Just saying. Getting real about our fears can help us release them.
I feel like I'm still not good enough for your trust.
The moment Brandon confronts Mary about her jealousy issues, according to Charlotte, she starts to use her tears as a weapon.
What do you want me to do? Please.
Abby.
I can't breathe.
Speaking of losing her breath, the next superlative is the most dramatic breakdown.
Take some deep breaths.
Asuelo looked like all the wind was knocked out of him when he squirmed all over the place after Kalani told him she slept with her new man Dallas and she wants a divorce.
Yes?
Take your time, Asuelo.
Mikey says Asuelo's acting dramatic AF after he got a yeast infection in his mouth, right? Oops, let's rewind that because that might have been the wildest revelation this year.
One of the nights he went drinking, he supposedly just kissed someone, and how I found out was he was FaceTiming me and he stuck his tongue out and his tongue was white. And he's like, what is this? And I was like, that's a yeast infection. You either kiss someone here or you kiss someone down there.
So yeah, Asuelo's response to Kalani calling it quits was very dramatic, considering the actions he took to cause it, including allegedly cheating on Kalani 10 to 12 times.
Go away!
Oh. Next, the most alarming fight, which goes to Kris and Jeymi. It sent all types of red flags and sirens off, especially knowing that Kris has a thing for knives. She says she's been collecting them since she was 8.
That big knife, I received one just like that for my birthday when I turned 8.
Who gave an 8-year-old a knife like that? And why? Makeup Life says there is no chemistry between these two. Yeah, Kris and Jeymi's relationship never made sense to me, even on the very few good days we saw from them. Anyway, their physical altercation went down after Kris finally returned to Colombia after barely communicating with Jeymi for months while she was in Alabama. A trip that was only supposed to be 2 weeks, but turned into 5 months. Kris missed Jeymi's birthday, which Kris claims was because her son got locked up for drugs. And Jeymi said,
that was a lie.
Su hijo no es la razón por la que ella no vino para mi cumpleaños porque la situación con su hijo fue mucho antes de mi cumpleaños.
Jeymi also says that Kris made promises to send her money while she was away and she didn't. And Kris said,
that was a lie. Man.
To sum it up, Jeymi tried to calmly express her frustrations to Kris, who was more combative and aggressive. I know some of you have your own theories about Kris's behavior and what causes her to act the way she acts. I can't speak directly to that, but all I can say is that it's unfortunate that her behavior led to this.
Ridiculous.
Oh yes, very ridiculous.
Get the away from me. I came over here to be away from you. Get the away from me.
I not talk to you.
Go away. Go away.
What happened? No.
Get the away.
Stop.
Get away.
Stop.
She is some crazy.
Stop.
Did you look?
Yeah, we looked. We saw that. During the tell-all, they revealed they hadn't spoken to one another since their explosive breakup. And all I have to say is, good. All right, the ugliest cry superlative goes to...
Why are you crying like that?
Yep, Jasmine. She is so beautiful, but when she cries, she goes for it. She wants to feel every corner and edge of that emotion. Let's take a look back at the multiple times Jasmine fully embraced the tears this year. Because let's be real, as user MS3 says, when is Jasmine not having a meltdown? Jeez Louise.
This was gonna be funny though. We were gonna enjoy it. We were gonna be at this moment happily eating our food. Yo creo que es mi culpa porque yo siempre lo trato mal. I am so scared of going to USA. Take me out!
Yeah, I'm dropping you off.
Ad user MF1 says, I feel bad laughing, but damn, she is pure dramedy gold. Nicholas says, Jasmine is so dramatic. I love her. I know she has her ways, but she is entertaining for sure. Gino and Jasmine have been part of the 90 Day family for 2 years now, which is short. I feel like they've been on longer. It's going to be interesting to see how their relationship plays out in the years to come. I'm curious to see if their dynamic is going to get better. They have some work to do. All right, lastly, the nastiest fight goes to...
You're not going anywhere with my dog. No. You're not going anywhere with my dog. Johan. Johan.
Yep, Danielle and Johan. They brought the dog into it. It all went down when Johan attempted to take his things and return to his mom's house after constantly fighting with Danielle about money and his lack of it.
Don't dare take all those Yankee hats. Johan. No.
Danielle tried to stop Johan from taking the things she paid for in the house. So after that, he tried to take from her what he paid for, which included little Gizmo.
Johan, no. You don't need the dog. You're not human. I want everyone out of my house now. All of you, get out.
I'm not even a huge dog person, but I felt for her. Dogs are like family to a lot of people. That's like someone trying to leave with your child. Ghost Online says she's making him leave all the stuff she bought so he should be able to take the dog. I hear you, Online Ghost. I think Danielle making him leave the things she bought is petty, but they're material items, not a whole living being that she takes everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I personally don't think it's comparable, but another lesson learned here. Be careful about giving your partner rules that you don't want applied to you.
That part.
All right, 90 Day fans fam. 90 Day might not always give us a lot of lessons on what to do in our relationships, but it sure does give us plenty of lessons on what not to do. Cheers to the 90 Day universe being the gift that keeps on giving. And cheers to you. Personally, I want to say thank you to all of you who share your insightful opinions, jokes, and love in the comments. I see you and I appreciate you. Once again, happy holidays and happy new year. Wishing you health, joy, success, prosperity, and tons of fun in 2024. I will see you next time.